What do you not like about the bike?
I would say nothing in that sense.
Seriously, nothing?
I'm quite biased. Yeah. I would say that the only thing that I don't really like it is that, well, this is more commercial. I wanted the Elves word to be removed.
Welcome back to our video, guys. Today I'm with Jeremy, and Jeremy has this Elves. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it correctly. It's called Elves Falath.
Elves
Falath.
Falath.
Oops, okay. Hey Jeremy, thanks for coming and wanting to feature your bike. Probably I'll pass it on to you if you could just introduce yourself, how you got into cycling and the bike.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. This is my bike. It's a custom painted from the factory, directly from the factory. It's an Elves Falath bike. It's the aerodynamic version of their range. More of their flagship, one of their flagship bikes. Started cycling in 2013, about 9 years ago. Yeah, my first cycling trip was actually to the Shimano Kaido in Japan, Western Japan, and I fell in love with bike packing. I fell in love with bike traveling, and from there on, you know, I decided to get myself into more serious cycling, bike packing through Taiwan, Australia, France, and some other different countries, and then started to get into the local cycling scene. Yeah, and this is actually my third or fourth bike. Yeah, so the reason why I bought this was that I like how it looked. As you can see, it's very aerodynamic. You know, a very straight, no frills, no nonsense kind of frame. Yeah, and then as you can see, it's custom painted to a mango color. Yeah. The inspiration came from the BAUM cycles, BAUM cycles. Yeah, I used one of their Tropicana orange frame colors to inspire myself to do this color range. Yeah, it comes with the Hyper wheels from Winspace. Everyone knows about Hyper wheels from Winspace. In Ultegra Groupset, along with the Favero Samoa Duo power meters.
Can you tell us more about this bike, because I've never heard of this brand?
Right, so Elves is a China brand. It's engineered and designed in Taiwan and Hong Kong. So they have offices in Taiwan, they have offices in China, offices in Hong Kong. And I brought it in through a Singapore distributorship by this very nice young fellow called Yong Kang, yeah, from Team Garcia. So he's the sole distributor of Elves frames and bikes in Singapore. The retail price on AliExpress, which is a selling platform, is about $999 for the frame alone. Yeah, so it's roughly here about $1,200 to $1,300.
You bought the frame only and then you customized the whole bike?
Yeah, so I bought the frame from him and also the group set. So other than that, and also the handlebar. The handlebar is actually a proprietary handlebar called the Orome, O-R-O-M-E. So it's a aero handlebar, yeah, and it's only suitable for the Elves range, including all of their bikes, you know, all their models and all their makes. Yeah, I really like the feel of the handlebar. As you can see, the handlebar, if you can look at the from the screen, the handlebar is actually curved in a very nice U shape, you know. So most of the aero handlebars are curved in a slightly more downward angle, whereas this one is really very flush and parallel to the floor. Yeah, so it adds a little bit more aerodynamism, reduce a little more aero drag, yeah, and it allows you to actually be more comfortable when you're on the drops. Yeah.
And what is the full price of this whole bike now?
The whole bike actually costs about $4,800 to $5,000. Yeah. I got the power meter pedals at a huge steal. Yeah, I was surfing the internet, and one day I found a very good deal. In fact, I don't think you will ever get this kind of deal anymore. I got it at about only 650 Singapore dollars. Yeah, so that itself is already a huge savings, because the Asioma power meters will take up about $1,000 or so. Yeah, so you already saved about $350 to $400. Okay. Yeah. Other than that, I got also friendship prizes from Marco, who is the Singapore distributor for the Winspace wheels as well as the frame sets. Yeah. So we all belong to a cycling group called the Kopi Rai. Yeah, so Marco is also one of the members in the group, and he opens up some preferential pricing to the group members. Yeah.
Seems like you know a lot of people who give you preferential pricing. I wish I can get preferential pricing, man.
Of course you can. I mean, right now we are associated or affiliated with each other. Yeah, and then I can introduce you to the fellow distributors in Singapore. If you are interested in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the frame size and what is your height?
Okay, I'm 176 cm. Yeah, the frame size is Asian sizing. So this is very interesting. This size is actually XL, yeah, but the size is actually 52. So in European sizing, 52 is actually S or M. Yeah, but in Asia sizing, this is actually XL. Yeah, and it's right at the bottom of close to the bottom bracket. Yeah, where you will be able to see later if I were to bring up the bike. Yeah, that the size is actually very interestingly put into Asian sizing.
Wow. Yeah. So how big does it go? Because 52 is already at XL, right? Does it go like triple XL or what?
Yeah, it actually goes up to 58. So it's actually 4XL or triple XL. Yeah. The smallest size I've seen is 44. Yeah, and 44 is really meant for really unfortunately small size people, pint size people. Yeah, I've met one or two ladies who are using size 44. Yeah, and even then the bike looks a little bit too big for them. Yeah, but this is the smallest that they will go because this is again Asian sizing.
Yeah, actually if they go down to very small sizes, female riders might suit female riders or even kids, right? Teenagers.
Yeah, correct. In fact, I think Elves had this in mind. So their sizing at 44 is actually, I think, triple XS. So this is really very, very interesting, a different kind of concept and design as compared to the European brands. And this is also one of the consideration points. It is an Asian brand. Yes, there might be some stigmatization across the whole world regarding China brands, China mix, OEM, China Relos, everybody would have said that. Yeah, but I think they are getting better. Yeah, if you were to look recently, the Winspace is world internationally acclaimed brand today. Yeah, coming up is this brand called Fast Sports with their Vontu wheel range, which is also fantastic. Yeah, many YouTubers, many influencers have also reviewed these brands and found them to be equally good as those European brands that you see out there in the commercial market today.
So being a China frame, what is the weight of these bikes? Because I normally see China frames, they are slightly more heavier.
Yeah, so I can actually hold up the bike and let you see. My bike weighs less than 7.5 kilograms. Yeah, including the power meter. Yeah, so as you can see, the power meter usually is a very heavy component. Yeah, but all in all, without the bottles being put in, including the air pump, yeah, it's about 7.4.
So what previous bikes you had? You said you own a couple of bikes.
Yeah, I started with a Giant AnyRoad. So the AnyRoad is a cyclocross bike that is meant for bike packing. Yeah, so a large wheelbase, goes up to 38 cc's. And then I used it to go wherever I like. I started with Taiwan Round Island, then after that Bintan, Malaysia, and so on and so forth. Decided to sell the bike, got a Pinarello, but I felt that it was too harsh for me. I didn't really like the vibrations on the top tube when I was cycling. And then I sold it and I got myself another Giant TCR. Yeah, the bike served me very well. I was in Italy, I was in Japan. Yeah, at the same time I got myself a Konago C59, which is a limited edition in a sense because it's the Mapei model. Yeah, so it adds a little flair, be a little bit unique and different from the rest of everyone else. Yeah, the Konago was used for special events. So when Kopi went to Italy, we have an Italian godfather in the group chat. Yeah, and he brought us to Italy. I brought the Konago to Italy to commemorate because Konago is an Italy brand. Yeah. So after that, unfortunately, last year I got into a crash. So the TCR was damaged. Yeah, and then I decided to, why not just try a China brand? Yeah, and I did some research. I realized Elves is a very up and coming brand. Yeah, why not give them a try?
How long have they been in the market?
I would say about 2-3 years. Yeah, I think slightly more than that, but they were pretty quiet at the beginning, and then they started being more aggressive due to the pandemic, most likely. Yeah, and then because of the pandemic, everyone started cycling, everyone started using outdoor sports, you know, and things like that. So they started more aggressive advertising. Yeah, Facebook is one, Instagram is another. Yeah, and then of course on the AliExpress seller platform.
You said you own a Pinarello. Which one was it?
It was the F8. It was the F8.
Well, that's a good bike, right?
It is a good bike. I must add a disclaimer here that I really like the Pinarello look and feel. I even like how it rides, but I think it's just a little bit too bumpy and too harsh for me. In 2016 or 2017, I dislocated my elbow, my left elbow, and because of that, I try not to engage it too much. Yeah, and you know, as a very bumpy ride, you will tend to lock your elbows, and I try not to do that anymore. So I realized that the TCR as well as the Elves, although they are harsh, but they are slightly harsher than the Pinarello. And again, once again, the Pinarello is a fantastic bike. Yeah, I really like how it feels, but I would say everyone to each his own.
So let's talk about performance. Since you've owned these bikes, Giant, Pinarello, and now the Elves, right? Usually when I ask people, they give very biased answers because this is their current bike. So of course they will say this is the best bike, but honestly, is this the best bike compared to all the bikes they've owned?
I think you have to sit back and think about what you actually want to do with your bike. Now, if you want to go long distance, if you want to be comfortable, titanium will always be the best. You know, it might not be the lightest, but it will be the best in terms of comfort, in terms of durability, you know, in terms of long distance riding in that sense. Yeah. If you like something hard, fast, punchy, you know, then a Pinarello will be very good for you if you are into races, if you are into local cycling scenes and things like that. Yeah. You wouldn't take a Giant Any Road, which is a gravel bike, or even a Pinarello Gravel, into a time trial, you know, something like that. So for those out there who are watching this video, I would suggest that you sit back, think about what you want to do in your cycling, and then plan your bike according to your activities. Yeah, when I got this bike, I wanted to bring myself up to a triathlon level. Yeah, so I wanted something to be comfortable. At the same time, I wanted something to be beating the wind in that sense. Yeah, because in a triathlon, the bike lick is the longest, 90 km or even 180 km of riding. I do own another Elves bike, which is the Vanya, their climbing flagship. Yeah, surprisingly, the Vanya is harsher and even lower than the Falath, even though the Falath is an aerodynamic bike. You know, the head tube of the Vanya is 20 mm shorter than the Falath. Yeah, but they advertise it as a climbing bike, and it's very responsive, it's very stiff. Yeah, but you wouldn't bring it to a triathlon or a long distance ride because your back might hurt, you know, because you'll be leaning too much forward in that sense. It might be the best bike for me, you know, I might be biased, but it might be the best bike for me, but it might not be the best bike for the general public out there.
What do you not like about the bike?
I would say nothing in that sense.
Seriously, nothing?
I'm quite biased. Yeah. I would say that the only thing that I don't really like it is that, well, this is more commercial. I wanted the Elves word to be removed. Yeah, because I wanted it to be very clean. I'm a very clean person. I'm OCD, I'm Virgo, you know. So I wanted it to be more or less my own design. Yeah, and I wanted the Elves word to be removed. I wanted the painting design in Hong Kong along the down tube to be removed. Yeah, but Elves said that they could not because they wanted obviously to showcase their brands, showcase their models. Yeah, so I had a compromise to do this in that sense. Yeah. And apart from that, there's actually nothing that I really dislike. Yeah. Another thing is that maybe Elves is a up and coming brand, a young brand in the cycling market. They do not have the TT bars that are meant for their own proprietary handlebar. Yeah. So that would be something that I would hope that Elves can improve in the future.
Winspace Hyper 65.
Yeah.
What is the review on this?
The 50s were really good. Yeah, I have actually had all three. I have the 38s, I have the 50s, and I have the 65s. Yeah, the 65s are fantastic in headwind. You know, even of course at tailwind everything is good, right? Yeah, but it's a little bit susceptible to crosswinds, especially yesterday when I was riding with my group. Yeah, the crosswinds were a little bit crazy yesterday. Yeah, and I could feel that my wheels were a little bit flexing, yeah, in and out, yeah, over the crosswinds. But other than that, I don't think I have any major complaints over the Hypers. But of course, again, Winspace is also a pretty young brand. It's up and coming. You know, there are some obviously improvements that they can do in their version 2, version 3. But at this price range, I don't think you can get a better wheelset than them at this moment.
Well, when you mean that you think that they can improve in the other versions, what else can be improved?
I guess they can be making it more stiff, you know, the pawl system, they can improve it to a better pawl system. Yeah, I would say maybe add a little more weight so that the wheels do not flex at crosswinds, especially at 65mm. Yeah, but apart from that, I guess it's already at its best at the price point.
So you've owned all three variants of the Winspace.
Yep.
So somebody who wants to buy only one wheel, I've only got budget for this wheel, right?
Yep.
Which one would you recommend?
Okay, again, it depends on what you want to do. I would say the 50 is the all-rounder. You can climb, you can speed, you can hang it out with the boys, you know. But if you are going for serious climbing, when I mean serious climbing, I'm talking about Wuling in Taiwan, Doi Itanon in Chiang Mai, you know, Doi An Khang in Chiang Rai, then the 38s will be good for you. The 38s served me very well. They are still with me. Yeah, and even after I've sold the bike, they are still with me. So I use them almost for every overseas cycling trip. I went to Japan with the 38s. I went to Taiwan with the 38s. Yeah, so it served me really well. It might not be fast. It might not be fast as you like. I have to add a disclaimer. Yeah, but I could keep up with my fellow friends when they were out there trashing at 40-45 km per hour. Yeah.
I think that is all of the questions I have. We have the Instagram question. You want to take a break for what first?
Sure.
Instagram questions, if you guys want to ask your questions, follow me on Instagram and you get to ask your questions. So Jeremy, we've got a couple of questions on Instagram. Are you ready?
Yep.
How is the quality of this bike?
Well, if you crash, most of the bikes that if you crash, you will definitely damage it. So, but I like it. I really feel that it's, number one, value for money. Number two, it's made very nicely, and I would call it almost pristine in that sense. I don't see any cutting of corners when they were trying to design the bike or make the bike, you know. I think what they wanted to do is to ensure that the bike is ready for the masses. Yeah, and this is something that is coming from China, whereby it's a paradigm shift, you know. China used to be a maker of imitations. Right now, they are taking it to the next level and creating their own design, creating their own products, creating their own brands in that sense. We started with the automotive industry. You have the BYDs, you know, yeah. And then now you have the bikes, you know. Sooner or later, you will have big data centers. Even Huawei, you see, is a very big data company at this moment, yeah. So the mindset is shifting from let's make imitations to why not we bring our own brands, make our own products, and fight it out with the real commercial market worldwide, you know. Yeah. So with that in mind, with that mindset there, you know, they started making more quality products. Now, quality is very difficult to be accessed without any metrics, without any statistics. And I'm not a mathematician, I'm not a statistician. Yeah. But for this, I have had it for about 6-7 months, and I have never disliked it. You know, I have never felt that this was bad or a company or this model was crap. You know, I really do like riding in it. It's smooth. It's very nice to ride. Of course, you must have a bike fit. You know, I must stress the importance of a bike fit once more. Yeah, spend a little bit of money, $100-200, you know, and then save yourself from back pain, save yourself from bad knees, you know, and things like that. Yeah. So I would say that the quality is there. But again, without any numbers to prove it, yeah, it's always a qualitative debate rather than a quantitative debate.
I want to debate with you on bike fit. Again, it's just a difference in opinion, right?
Yep.
I've said it in my other videos. I wouldn't spend money on a bike fit because I mean, I'm just a DIY guy. I like to play with my settings and stuff. But I mean, of course, if you're somebody who is not known or not familiar with cycling, you don't know what to do, then go for a bike fit by all means, right? Did you go for a bike fit and did it help you?
Yes. So the first thing I did when I got the bike was to go for a bike fit. I bike fitted with Podium Performance, also a friend of mine. Yeah. Wei Liang and Adrian. Shout out to you guys. Yeah. What does the bike fit do? Now, I'm sure a lot of people like to do DIYs, you know, but a bike fit ensures that you are at the correct fit for the bike, or rather, the bike is at the correct fit for you. Yeah. And then if there are certain minor adjustments and tweaks to be done, the bike fitter would actually know what to do. And then there will be a report for you. Now, this report is very good because number one, it gives you numbers, it gives you statistics and what you should do and what you should not do. Number two, it gives you a base, a foundation for you to move on to your next bike. So when you go to a new bike shop, let's say bike shop X, you know, you will be able to give them this report and say, this is my numbers, can you recommend me a bike size, a bike frame that is suitable for me?
So bike fitting, let's say someone who is new to cycling, do they buy the bike first or go for the bike fit first?
Yeah, good question. I would say go for the pre-fit first. So there are some bike fitters who offer a pre-fitting service. So it's like maybe a whole package or maybe $280, $300, you know, that kind of stuff. Go for a pre-fit, get the numbers, get your bike, and then come back to redo all your minor adjustments and things like that.
Because I've seen, I've interviewed people where their bike is a completely wrong size, and then you can tell one look by the saddle drop and whatever, right? It is just out of proportion. And so that's another issue here. Let's say you go to a bike shop, you buy the bike, too bad you came back, it was the wrong size, and then you go for a bike fit. Do you still think that the bike fit will still help you?
If you are buying one or two sizes smaller or bigger, then I don't think so. Yeah, but apart from it, the bike is full of adjustable components. The saddle is movable up and down, front and back, tilted angled up and down. You know, the only thing that you cannot change is the frame size. Yeah, the only thing that you cannot change is the frame size. Everything else you can change. Yeah, so I would say get the frame right. And then all other components, you can discuss it with your bike fitter, with the bike shop, yeah, as and when you like.
So do you normally go one size down or you get the exact size from based on the chart?
I get the exercise based on the chart. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm more of a comfort rider. I'm not aggressive. I've known of friends, I've known of riders who go one size or even two sizes down. Yeah, to be very aggressive, to make their stem very long, to be very responsive and twitchy. Yeah, but I prefer to go for comfort.
This is a nice color. Was it a custom painted color?
Yes, again, it's directly from the factory. So the waiting time is actually slightly longer because of this. I waited about 10 weeks for the frame to come to Singapore and for Yongkang to set it up. Yeah, the designs were discussed with both Elves and Yongkang in Singapore. So I gave Yongkang some of the designs, he brought it back to the factory came back with some minor tweaks. So for example, I wanted it to be a tri-color, yeah, and I wanted it to be tri-color in patches, meaning I wanted pink, orange, pink, yellow and orange, yeah, in that order, yeah. But as you can see, the pink flushed down to become like a little orangey feel here as well, and these are actually improvements and adjustments recommended and suggested by the factory. Yeah, they actually know their stuff in that sense. So in terms of quality assurance and control, they actually give suggestions how to improve the look and feel of your bike. Yeah, so it adds a little more finesse, adds a little more beauty in it.
Because I thought this brand was pronounced as Elves. So the question is, where is Snow White?
I don't know actually. Yeah. So I think this brand's inspiration came from Lord of the Rings. If you were to see their normal frames, on their website, you would have some Elvish words on the top of the top tube. Yeah, they were written in English, but it's actually in Elvish. Yeah, so I have a friend who knows a little bit of everything. He told me that this actually comes from Lord of the Rings.
Does Elves Falath come in a disc brake version?
Yes, they do. They do. So they have 4 or 5 models. Yeah, I cannot remember the names. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, but for the Vanya and the Falath, so that's the 2 I have, and these 2 are their flagships. The Vanya is a climbing bike, and the Falath is an aerodynamic bike. They have both rim brakes and disc brake versions, and they are sold at the same price.
Looks like a Java. Is it from the same manufacturer?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I can't really answer that question. But I guess the same factory does the most for Giant, does the most for Merida. Yeah. So as every one of you knows from the video, recently in the cycling world, everything has mostly shifted to China. Even Giant has shifted to China. Even Merida has shifted to China. Yeah. So I'm not surprised if they're all from the same factory.
So then, is this a SL6 clone?
I have not ridden an XL6. If you have one, please lend it to me and then I'll gladly ride and I'll let you know my thoughts and feelings and comments.
I rode an SL6, so I can attest that it does not look at all like a SL6 because this is more like an aero frame.
Yep.
This is very aero, right?
Correct.
The seat tube. How is the shifting with the gear cables running through the stem?
It's actually very crisp. I don't find, well, again, I'm running mechanical, so I cannot speak for electronic group sets. I'm not a fan or an advocate of electronic group sets due to the battery charging issues and whatever, and the synchronization issues and whatever not. Yeah, but for mechanical shifting, this is really very crisp, very pointed, you know, very down, no latency, but of course, mechanical has really no latency in a sense. Yeah, you don't get shifting jams. Yeah, so that's one that you might get with integrated bars and hidden cables, but I don't get it in this.
How is the packaging when the bike arrives and the frame set, do you know?
Okay, I did. I was in the factory, I was in the workshop together with Yong Kang. Very professionally wrapped in a sense. Bubble wrap all over, styrofoam and it's not just styrofoam on the bike, but individual parts. They styrofoamed everything. Yeah, and then they bubble wrapped around the styrofoam. Yeah, and then it came, it was tight in that sense. So it wasn't really moving around. Of course, you will be able to have some slack in that sense. But it was very well done, I would say. Elves, good job in that. Yeah, it was a very pleasant unboxing experience.
When I posted the Insta story, I actually thought it was from an AliExpress. So hence a lot of questions thought this was from AliExpress, but you've already since clarified. So the question is, have you tried how is the after sales service, and how does this bike compare to any other direct to consumer brands? Okay,
very good question. The bike came with a slight flaw. Now, as you all know, the aero handlebar, the bottom portion of the aero handlebar allows you to put a spoon for your Garmin, yeah, or your Wahoo, no, yeah, for your GPS computer. Now, one of the screws came out. And I approached Yong Kang to help me to address this issue. Now, Yong Kang sent it back to Elves. Elves addressed this issue, and right now it's as good as new. So the after sales service is fantastic, you know. Yeah, but I believe if there is a distributor, I believe if there is a company representing the brand in your respective regions, I believe there is one in Indonesia, in Malaysia, and in Philippines. Yeah, do approach them, and they will be able to intercede on your behalf to Elves. Yeah, if you were to buy from AliExpress, AliExpress once again is just a selling platform for Elves. Yeah, then you may want to contact Elves personally. Yeah, and individually, and they do reply me. They do reply you. Yeah, they will not throw you into the lurch.
That is all the questions. Any last wrap up you want to mention or share about the bike?
I guess shout out to Oompa Loompa, yeah, for this opportunity, for this fantastic time. Yeah, and once again, do remember to see yourself what you want to do in cycling. Yeah, before getting a bike. Now, do not rush into decisions. Do not make rash decisions. Yeah. and then I'll see you guys on the road.
Yeah, if you guys want to feature your bike, do DM me on Instagram and follow me there, and then we can sort something out. So again, thank you so much, Jeremy, for coming out. That is the end of the video, and see you around.
See you on the roads, guys.